All right, so we are back live.
Please bear with us while we try and figure this out.
We have Leviticus right now. Just for those of y'all, let me just throw this out there while we get this set up going. I'm going to throw the runners out there again, just so if y'all are curious. We have Leviticus entering Swamp right now, and Scarlet on the way back, almost at Helmosaur.
Oh, we're again. Hey, we have live streams.
Welcome back. Here we go, everyone. Welcome back, Scarlet and Leviticus. So as I said, we have Scarlet right now, making their way back to Helmosaur. We will get a new check here. And at this point, we're really only looking for silvers from a viewer standpoint. We know where Fire Rod is. We know where
Flute
Red
and
Cane is.
Red
we know
Cane,
where Flute is. So we really
Leviticus
are just looking for silvers.
The only thing Leviticus will be missing at this point is the bow, which I'm not actually highly sure where Scarlet found it with all the shenanigans that have been going on. That was...
Actually, yeah, where was it? Was it in
Graveyard
Swamp?
Ledge? Graveyard Ledge, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
No,
that
the flute was in the back of Swamp. Graveyard Ledge, so...
Which, to be honest, there's not, aside from Ice Palace, and they do have Meyer as well, so they man, I don't even know. It's tough to say. Unless if the other bow is in GT, I do not see Leviticus losing a ton of time here, because they will be full clearing. I mean, Scarlet will be looking for silvers as well, so likely full clearing Mimic, or Meyer, likely full clearing Ice Palace, so Leviticus will make their way back to Graveyard Ledge at some point, and has already basically full cleared Eastern and Pod. So we're not really going to be losing a ton more time looking for those, or not having the bow.
Yeah.
Aside from for Meyer. Bow does help with the Meyer boss a decent amount. So without swords, you do not need to have silvers to beat Ganon, but silverless, swordless Ganon is one of the longest fights you will ever see in any video game. It's
technically possible, but no, just no.
In a seed like this, unless they were to have gotten GT access by like an hour, there's no reason for them not to look for silvers everywhere.
Oh yeah. At the very least, you'll jump in, you'll get to that phase, and you'll let Ganon spoil the silver's location, then go get it.
Yep.
Like, that is preferable over actually trying the fight. It's just bad.
So while we have them kind of doubling, as we have them doubling back right now a little bit, I just want to throw a shout out to our restreamer right now for having to work with everything in the heat of the moment while this race is going on and getting this all back set up. Let's get a shout out for our restreamer here as well, the roadie, which I don't even know if there's a command for it, but I really want to throw that out there because there's a lot of work that goes into these behind the scenes, and I think there is due thankfulness given to them for this.
Having done left side swamp, though, Leviticus here going now to the back will be getting their flute, which will put them a bow mode away from quasi-go mode. I'm calling silverless, like, without silver's quasi-go mode, because at that point, I don't know, like I said, you may choose to continue go. You may choose to just, go to Ganon and let him tell you where it is.
So here's the play. Here is the hobo play. So we're gonna get Red Cane, which means we're gonna basically at this point we're again in quasi go mode for Scarlet. Aside from Silvers, Scarlet's gonna full clear Ice Palace here, and then go up the mountain.
Fire Rod.
Likely.
Scarlet still doesn't have Fire Rod.
But Fire Rod is gonna be on the way too, unless they go to Turtle Rock before checking Spiral Cave, which is possible.
But it also means that you're not go moding any of these dungeons.
That's true.
Which,
that is true.
Is the difference.
That could be it. Oh, yeah. Or are they gonna flute to 8? Okay, they're fluting 8. I thought they were giving up Ice Palace.
No. Oh no, you go. It's probably much faster to flute, I guess.
And I agree. I always felt that as well.
Yeah, it's probably about the same either way.
I don't actually have gotten into the second chest from Waterfall Fairy yet.
No, we have not yet seen that. One of the few changes that Sorless makes is it puts that medallion there. You have to be standing on that medallion to use Bombos in that room. The only place that you can use Bombos is on that medallion, and they add it to this room and the boss room in Sorless mode.
Yeah, so for
Leviticus doing their own menu boss.
Oh. Yeah, for any of you that have not done Swordless, you cannot use medallions. Yeah, you cannot use medallions anywhere in the game without one of those pedestals, basically, to stand on and use, because you technically need a sword to use medallion, and they made it. They did not make it optional to use medallions without specific locations in this game in Swordless.
Yep, the only changes they made were adding those 2 medallions in Ice Palace, and pre-cutting the drapes in Agatu and the back of Skullwoods. Very nice icebreaker there from Scarlet's side.
So Leviticus, again, not saving a lot of time, still has a lot of time to make up, but just little things like this. Having Fire Rod for Argus makes that fight a tiny bit quicker than trying to use Ice Rod or Hammer strats. And we'll have Fire Rod for Ice Palace as well, which is going to help with Cold Stare. It will help a little bit with maneuvering, so you won't need to use Bombos every time in the kill rooms. Yeah, so Scarlet did skip Switch. When you do Icebreaker, you can opt to skip the Switch if you plan on full clearing. Because if you full clear regardless, you're going to end up getting that big key and at least one small key. So you can do the game vanilla if you have, or you can do it vanilla-ish if you have Red Cane. Because it will let you lay Red Cane down in the basement and you won't have to reroute yourself around the dungeon again. So typically, if people come in here with Red Cane with an intent to full clear, you will actually see them skip that switch room. And Leviticus also now coming in here. Leviticus still needs to get that bow off a graveyard ledge, but with each check that we find that doesn't have the second bow, makes it more likely that he will go back there sooner than later. And Leviticus making the same play with that one small key, skipping Crystal Switch, and just making their way through Ice Palace. Do a small team pendinator. Yeah, so Dawn said that. So we're about to get into Cold Stare. And as you saw at the beginning of the dungeon, you will also see in this Cold Stare room, there is a spot specifically for Bombos to make this dungeon still completable without Fire Rod. One of the 2 places that you can use medallions, or one of the 4 places, you can also use medallion in front of Meyer and in front... Oh,
freezer room. I forgot freezer room when I said that
Oh,
last
that
time.
is
They
the
put one in
fifth, you're
freezer
right,
room
yeah.
as well.
So the 5 locations. My apologies.
5
Thank you
locations.
for that.
They added 3. Yeah.
Use that potion. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
you have that potion to use. There's no reason not to. Dying on cold stare is definitely a rough fight to have to go back to.
It's one of the worst bosses to die on. The other probably being Vitreous.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah. Turtle Rock if you didn't take the safety door.
Yeah.
But I don't see why you wouldn't in a swordless mode like this. Because that is very dangerous.
Can one more hit away?
The hammer.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Yeah, that cold stare is a very hard fight with a hammer.
And that is our third pendant, I believe. I know
yes,
we got blue and
that's
red.
right.
Green was on. Oh no, sorry. Well,
Gold
that is
Woods.
our third.
That's on
Scarlet's
all
second.
opposite sides. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we
green
saw
was on
Leviticus
Scarlet
get
Woods.
it. Yep, Leviticus got that green pendant, but Scarlet has not
So
yet.
another payout for Scarlet here, should they decide to do it, is Skull Woods right into pedestal. If we're still looking for silvers, that pedestal check is going to be a lot easier for Scarlet than it will be for Leviticus, because they will already be at green pendant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pet is couch chest. Okay, I did not see someone check in. Thank you.
Oh. Okay then. Yep.
I was say it was
lot
probably
of-
Leviticus after he beat it.
That would make sense. They were there. They had mirror.
And Leviticus is able to make quick work.
much-
Again, just the difference of
so
hammer
much
and
faster.
fire rod. Saving maybe 30 seconds there. Not having to use a potion either.
Yeah.
Scarlet coming back in here. We're going to get the last check from Trolldorm as well. On our way up to... Oh, this is actually going to be great routing for Scarlet. They're going to be able to go right to...
Hookshot Cave.
Well, even before that, they'll
And,
probably
yeah.
drop down. Oh, yeah, they'll probably do Dark World first and then Light World.
Yeah.
They doing Spiral down to Paradox and then up to... Actually, yeah, that's probably how I would route it.
Yeah. Mirror, Spiral, Paradox, swap over at Turtle Rock, and then do the Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot. And then probably also head over to, when you're done, to Spike Cave.
Oh, we're doing Flute. For a second, I thought Leviticus was going back to Thieves Town, because there's still small bid chests in Thieves Town.
Oh,
for
yes,
Leviticus.
Leviticus didn't have the hammer when they went in here the first time.
So why not catch a fairy? I think it depends on probably the comfort of the runners themselves. If they plan to get potions at any point and they don't feel like they need a fairy right now, it would just be a waste of time, honestly. Even if that's 5 seconds, that's a 5-second time waste now if they're going to be doing something later that will save them that time.
I haven't seen anyone actually do a map check, so we actually don't know which of these crystals they've gotten, if any, are the 5-6 crystals. No one's checked the map. No one's checked the bomb shop. They're gonna have to either check at one point or just randomly go there and hope it's there.
Scarlet does have Swamp marked off as a 5-6, so they must have seen it at some point when they had paused the game and updated it. And going to...
Mire. Another full clearable dungeon.
Yep. Specifically waiting to get Fire Rod to do Spooky glitch. As you see them come here before going to Skull Woods.
Yeah. It's a nice little glitch that saves you 20, 30 seconds, maybe? Not even. It's not a lot of time, but it's cool to watch. But both runners pretty much in sync, opening up Mr. Meyer as we walk in here.
Yep.
The only difference being Scarlet has an extra 3 dungeons down? 2.
Yep.
2 dungeons down.
3. No, because they just did Hera as well. So they do have...
Leviticus has Skull Woods where Scarlet doesn't, so...
Oh, that's right, that's right. You got
only
me
2.
there.
Only 2 ahead.
Yeah, and I've been saying this all seed, and I think I'm going to continue saying this until we find silvers. Silvers being anywhere but GT is basically going to seal this race for Scarlet. Because if Leviticus comes across that bow before, that bow before going to GT, which he won't be able to, he will not go back to Graveyard Ledge for any reason. It likely will gamble the second bow in GT. So if Scarlet finds silvers anywhere before getting to GT, this game is, at that point, this game is won.
Theirs to lose.
Yeah. And from a viewer side, I mean, they have all the items basically at this point, so that's all we're really looking for is where are silvers?
Yep.
And this is really
Scarlet...
how it, this is how it pretty much ends up. Any swordless seed, you're gonna find Ice Rod more likely than you will silvers. Because even as you mentioned earlier, Ice Rod still technically locks at least 1 item. Silvers do not lock anything.
Well, especially in all dungeons, it 100% locks... Not 100%, but with Turtle Rock, it also locks GT. So it locks more than Silvers does, which is just the boss. But it does look like, even though Scarlet is in that quasi-go mode, they are continuing to clear dungeons. Doing them while they're here. Getting even the more out-of-the-way checks.
Yep. Well, for anyone that has seen the first two races of these teams, both of those races had go mode items basically in mired bid key chest here. And both runners basically before had ended up last locationing because of the way the seeds were. So I can imagine looking for silvers, Scarlet's going to be checking every location on their way to GT.
Well, Leviticus gets there slightly faster, and it is the vanilla big keep.
Always a nice sight to see.
Knowing that it is required and that your opponent's going to have to do it too before they go back.
Oh, Jesus, that's it.
Oh, that's not good for Leviticus at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's a good thing, but it's not.
Yeah. So at this point, because I believe he had also already done King's Tomb as well, but he can go mode all the dungeons, go to GT. There really is no reason to go to a one-off location check like.
No, there isn't. That's the question though. Like, the way for Leviticus to win is to go mode every dungeon, and not care about the silvers and try and get that hint from Geddon. Because when he says the light world, there's not a lot of checks left. That would be the way for Leviticus to win this. But I don't feel like the chances of Leviticus 100% go moding every dungeon is very high.
I mean, at this point, he pretty much only would do that in Turtle Rock because he's already finished. He's already full cleared Eastern, Hera, and Pod. So it really is just Turtle Rock that he could do that with.
Yeah.
And you can't even really full clear it, or you can't even do it there. You could at most skip Lava Chest and Bid Key Chest.
Yeah, that is true.
Or Bid Chest.
That is very true because Eastern Palace, Hera, Poddy's already all been in. You are very correct on that. And there's another thing here too. Bombshroud's on Leviticus' side, while Scar's just going to whip out that bow and have Vitreous down much faster than Leviticus. Probably before Leviticus beats it. Even though they answered afterwards, because just one shot per eyeball, it's so fast. And it is down on Scarlet's side.
Yeah, that's the difference that silvers are gonna make.
This is the best boss to have silvers on.
100%.
It
Like
makes
I
the most
mentioned
difference.
earlier, that like having Fire Rod for some of these bosses was nice for Leviticus, but having silvers for every other boss is 10 times nicer.
Oh no! Oh, Leviticus! Oh, we have a fairy. Thank
We
you.
had a fairy. Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. I believe that was a bottle that we
missed
picked
that.
up actually, so I think he got one that had a fairy in it that Scarlet has not gotten yet.
I don't think that's true because I remember seeing Leviticus grab a fairy
Okay.
at one point in the game. I believe it was one of the drop downs. Was it? I think it's when they went and got Moon Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Because aren't there fairies up?
Yeah,
up in
right
that
before you
hole?
would get Moon Pearl, there's
Yeah.
there's two fairies there.
I think that's where I saw Leviticus. I mean, I remember seeing Leviticus pull out that net and grab fairies at one point. Whether that's that fairy they use there, I don't know, but meanwhile, Scarlet is going into Skullwoods, the second to last dungeon to clear. Very quick, already completely cleared the front half of it, so there's nothing here. Might check this bridge chest after the boss, if the boss doesn't have silvers. But with those, with that bow, Leviticus is heading straight over to Pod to clear it out.
Yeah, you'll get the Pod and Eastern both from this.
Yep. Then after that, Rock into Tower of Hera. Into GT.
So this is because the hammer does same damage as tempered. You do only need 4 hits from the hammer, but with the hitbox being a lot smaller than the sword, it's a bit harder in this dungeon to get right up on Mothula.
It's such a terrible hitbox, especially when you're facing up. It's almost non-existent.
Yep. But Scarlet finishing, getting their green pendant, which I highly doubt will ever get turned in on Scarlet's side, having found every item that they need to finish this game.
Well, it could have silvers. You might. The silvers could be there still.
Oh, from Leviticus possibly, but Scarlet has already gotten silvers.
Oh, right. Yeah, that is very true.
But yeah, Scarlet prepping to make their way up Death Mountain and then GT. So getting these potions now early.
Scarlet checking Waterfall Fairy first? Or, oh, no, arrow and bomb upgrades. Okay, yeah, gonna buy the arrow upgrade and get that free refill that comes along with it. That makes sense.
I think that's good if you plan on using arrows for Gauntlet. I know I prefer Fire Rod personally, but if you are an arrow, if you prefer arrows, that definitely is a good call to get the extra 5 arrows there.
But yeah, she's making her way up. We'll clear Turtle Rock pretty quickly. Fortunately, Turtle Rock is not a super fast go mode dungeon. Still gotta do essentially the entire thing.
Yep. Yeah, and Leviticus, as I mentioned, Leviticus full clearing pod earlier and Eastern earlier is going to be basically just boss rushing these two dungeons. No reason to, nothing to even pick up.
King Helmasaur is very fast when he's doesn't have his hammer on or his mask on. And he can be a little trolly at times, especially with the tiny hitbox that is the hammer.
The hammer,
But
yeah.
Leviticus takes it down pretty nicely.
I'll be honest. Vanilla Helma is, after doing Randomizer a few times, if you've ever seen Helmacopter, seeing Vanilla Helma after is just so boring. I come in here and all I want to see is that tail just flailing around. It's one of the funniest things you see. That and all the eyes on Troll Dorm.
Good old Sunflower Dorm. Or Mono Dorm or Tridorm. Those are my favorites.
Alright, so we are getting
The other ones don't have
into,
symmetry. It's just weird.
Well, where this is Turtle Rock. I know what Turtle Rock is. I am a professional. I should know this dungeon. Getting the Turtle Rock chests right now still could basically be a full clear depending on where Big T is. And as I say it, Lava Chest is basically done. We will not see Scarlet check it. Leviticus, on the other hand, may go there. Still looking for silvers on his end.
Yeah, most likely. It's a quick check, and it doesn't really, especially when you're still looking for that silvers.
Yeah, the time loss that you would get from having to work your way back up into Turtle Rock and then into Lava Chest after either finishing TR or finishing GT. Yeah, it's a lot of time you'd be losing for the little time you would lose by going to Lava Chest.
Yeah. For those in question in chat, Leviticus needs to go to Graveyard Ledge to get their silvers. And he has already done King's Tomb and Punk Rocks and everything there. There's nothing drawing him back there except for Graveyard Ledge, and it's essentially going to be a last location for him. Scarlet making very quick work of that chain chomp room. I hate that room.
Yeah.
So bad. It's so bad, and these runners make it look so easy, and I'm jealous.
Ooh, missing the key. Gonna get bunnied here for a second, but excuse me, not a huge time loss.
No, just a few seconds.
Did we get the quick kill? We did get the quick kill on Leviticus' side.
We did get yes.
Which at this level, quick kill, pretty expected from a lot of these runners. Pretty easy setup for those of you that are trying to learn this game. The quick kill is very one of the easier setups to learn that will save you time in the game.
And honestly, it feels so good when you get it to that first time. I remember my first time, it's like, I did it! I did a speedrun strat! Yay!
I mean, still to this day when I did it, I think I learned it maybe a year ago, and I still, every time I get it, I feel so good. It's one of those real nice feelings of just execution. Good execution, I should say.
Good, yes.
Now, hovering, on the other hand, if y'all learn how to hover, I'd feel good every time I learn that.
No, hovering is terrible. I hate it. Unless you can do it, then you love it. But if you don't, you hate hovering.
The dark arts, that's right. Yeah, Scarlet making quick work of this dungeon.
But is getting dead rocked.
Are we going to get trolled here in TR? Are we going to get a key? Because there is a very low chance that there is no key
No,
with that
no.
lava key chip.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. There's the small key.
Okay. I want to say I've heard people say before it's like a 3% chance if a key is in lava chest and big chest, then there isn't a key on laser bridge, and then you gotta go back.
Yeah, and with Scarlet skipping both of them, that was a possibility, but for their sake, luckily they did not have to go back and get big chest.
I had that happen once in a race, and I was very confused because I've never seen anyone not, like, when they're in go mode, not skip those two, and I'm like, oh, okay, what?
You become a god for swimming swamp? Oh, man. Technically, for those of you that walk on water, you're basically a god already. So another one of those menu fights we were talking about, not nearly as bad as Argus earlier, but you do need to switch between Ice Rod Hammer and Fire Rod and Hammer for this fight, as
but at
Ice
least
Rod
you
does
get more
no
than
damage.
one hit. You get more than one hit. This is the important bit. And then Hammer, getting bullied a little bit by Trinex.
Trouble, yeah, but still shouldn't be. Oh my goodness!
No, we're good.
As I say that they were one hit away.
I was gonna say that the Hammer is a little bit better on Trinex because you usually hit him left and right instead of up. But with that though being said, Scarlet does have all their crystals and is going into GT, and you know what that means. We have a game we like to play. Drosy, you beat me to it! Gosh darn it, I had to pick a new number. Cannon's Tower has a big key, and it can be in one of 22 checks in the basement of it. And our runners will have to find it to continue. And we like to guess which chest it may be in. We will be using Scarlet's count, no matter who finds it first, as if unlikely as it is that Leviticus finishes. But get your guesses in chat. We're going to be ending the game here as soon as Scarlet enters the tower. Where do you think it's going to be?
Whenever I'm not running, I always want it to be tile room. But when I'm running, I want it to be Bob's torch. So either 1 or 22.
1 or 22. I'm a fan of 10.
Be one of those.
I am a fan of 10. I like 10. I always pick 10, but Drosy beat me to it. Looks like it froze again.
And that is third check. For those of you that are not watching, we did get a Hope Room side from Scarlet.
There we go.
And then they went left side, so that was 3.
Have we found?
I know we had a little bit of a hiccup there, but
up. Yep.
Yeah, just to confirm, that was third check.
Scarlet also making sure they have a key. You need 1 key going up Gannon's Tower to be guaranteed to be able to get through it. I've seen runners forget that and get unlucky. It's possible there's a key in the
Leviticus
3
do
checks
that before.
Yeah.
So
there's 2 checks that could have the key. You go.
That was obviously 15 checks in the 10 seconds we missed there.
Yeah. But that is a very quick climb now for Scarlet. Aga's already down. Aga 1's already down. So once we climb this tower and beat Aga 2, we're going to be jumping right into that pig. We can expect to see a dot done from Scarlet here in a little bit.
Yeah,
it would take a lot of Ganon balls to die. To
looking at
bring
this
Leviticus
now,
back on this.
Leviticus really didn't miss too much in terms of, I guess retrospectively, Leviticus, I should say, was hoping to see, maybe he could have made it back if Silvers were in GT or something. But realistically, with that bid key being where it was, it seems that Scarlet had enough of a lead through the game to have made this a pretty fair time for them.
Yeah, no. It was unfortunate, but yeah, Leviticus just the biggest thing is they missed that hammer in Skullwoods when they went in there.
And the second added tower climb lost them probably 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, I'd say probably 3 minutes at least. Making it halfway up, running out of magic and bombs.
But that's time you can make up when you go to pod, full clear pod, without, you know, find nothing and miss the hammer once you finally do get. I think that is kind of what sealed the deal for Leviticus.
All right, so let's see if we can get a clean fight here from Trinet as well. Another, again, as we mentioned a few times, another pause fight, but pretty quick fire left head there. Hopefully another quick head number 2. So far, so good. Ooh, having to do a third round here.
Oof.
Which, yeah, sorry, I was mentioning this before. For those of you that aren't aware, the ice rod does not do any damage to the left head. You need to use it to freeze the head, basically to damage it with hammer or a sword if you have sword. But the right head actually does take damage from the splash damage of the fire rod. So you can, if you have enough magic, you can kill the right head with just fire rod. But it will take more time than using a sword or hammer.
It's not a lot of damage that it does.
Oh, yeah.
It's very little. But it does do damage.
All right, so Scarlet making their way up. Again, not really needing to check any of these. They have all the items. They're basically just going straight to Aga 2 and Ganon after that. Where Leviticus still does need to do Hera.
Yeah, Leviticus needs to do Hera as well, but also once Leviticus does get to Ganon's tower, do they continue searching through the bottom?
Oh,
trying to find those silvers.
100% they will. I mean, I can't imagine anyone that would not. Again, the trek to come back up to GT after Aga 2, if you need to, is already a huge time loss where they have 2-3 overworld locations and 20 checks in the basement of GT. I think that's a gamble that you take, is check those checks.
It's just unfortunate me making more of a time loss for Leviticus. Just Scarlet so far, it looks like one hit per phase. I don't think I've seen a double yet.
I think that could have been a double, but I think that last one counted as a single as well.
It's hard with the bug net. It really is.
And it's harder with the hammer, so I'm sure Scarlet is happy to have found this bug net.
Yeah. But there he goes down. But what's this? He's Ganon all along? Who knew? Why does Ganon turn into a bat? So many questions. No answers. But as Scarlet drops down, Leviticus is headed into the tower. Or Scarlet not dropping down. Looks like they're grabbing the fairy that's down here first. Yep. Getting that fairy, health refill, then going and killing the pig.
All right, so we do have to do hammer strats here. Pretty nice placement there for the second half of phase 1.
Yeah, it's good to see him
and really nice
back up
placement
into a
for
wall
phase
like
2.
Ganon's being nice to us today. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at all those hammer hits. He's hit by one bat, but manages to switch to Cape to avoid the rest. And already out of phase 2, into phase 3. This gets much easier from here.
Yeah, that was a very nice phase 2. If he was placed pretty much anywhere else, it would probably have taken 2 or 3 cycles.
Oh yeah. With Hammer, there is no way to really cancel the knockback other than to have your back to a wall, and to do that, Ganon has to play nice. He doesn't normally play nice. He just decided to play nice twice in a row. No, silvers. My one true weakness. Not the Master Sword. It's just silvers. Doesn't get the torch glitch, but
with silvers doesn't really matter too much.
No, you have half magic. Yeah, I think Leviticus Scarlet still has 2 blue potions, so she is fine.
Yeah.
I think there's one more hit with the silvers, and he will be down. Oh no, there was 2. This should do it. Nicely done. Get your GGs in chat as Scarlet crosses that bridge. Go and touch the Triforce. She will finish with an official race time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 44 seconds. And Leviticus, seeing the dot done from Scarlet, has indeed forfeited the match.
Understandably.
So,
Still so many checks to do for one item. And still needed a climb tower.
Yeah. Let's see. It does look like we will be getting Scarlet in here. Let's see if we can't get her in. Hey, we are joined by Scarlet. GG, Scarlet. Congratulations. Keeping your team in this still. Bringing us to a game 5.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw how awful the start was, I knew that I would be up front. Even that I had a bad routing. Because climbing GT with burn and bombs, it's not that fun, you know. And
you mean Aga Tower?
Yeah, Aga Tower. And
yeah.
And killing Lamo with bombs and burn is nice too. So I thought I would be okay.
You made really good work. Have you actually practiced the Lamo fight with bombs like that? Because you seem to do very well.
No, I was just I just kinda know how much time the bomb needs to explode. So I was timing it with the respawn. So when I missed like 2 bombs, I started holding them to throw it at Lamo to be 100% sure that we would be killed.
Also say hi to Leviticus. We also have him in chat. Welcome, Leviticus.
GG's, hey.
What a seed.
Uh-huh. That's one way to put it, yes.
that is...
So, if I could ask a question, we hinted at it already when Scarlet wasn't here, but at the start of that seed, you both see Moon Pearl on Aga Ledge, Lumberjack Ledge. Are you relieved or are you upset? What are
I'm
your
absolutely
thoughts when you see
furious. Absolutely furious. That's the worst thing to see. At least you know for sure you have to do it, but and that's going to be your Dark World access 100%, but it's still the worst thing ever. It also means you're going to get boots relatively early, but I still don't want to see that.
The silver lining that I was putting on it was that you were going to get boots, and that's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what about you, Scarlet?
Like I said to Leviticus before the race, I bunk a lot. I'm really bad.
Well, that did make me feel a little better about it. That's true.
So when I saw that Moon Pearl, I was like, damn it, I'm gonna find boots early. I'm not happy with that. And then when I got boots on them, I was like, I can't believe it, right? It was too early, really, really, really too early. I wasn't happy with that for sure. But because of the boots, not the Moon Pro.
I did have a question for Leviticus. Why were you putting it off Aga for so long? Is just you hate it that much? You were trying to look for other methods? Because I saw you
well,
did
no,
pretty much
because
everything.
regardless of whether or not you hate it, when Moon Pearl's on the ledge, you just do it as soon as you can do it, especially when you have boots for sure to go get it. Unfortunately, this was my first swordless race I've ever done. So it's relatively inexperienced. I practiced it leading up to today, but I've never actually run a swordless seeding competition before today. And
did you not know that Bugnet was logical access and swordless?
I did, but my tracker apparently didn't, because my tracker didn't light up with Aga 1 being accessible. And so I thought to myself, I'm pretty sure I can do it, but also I can do desert and there's other checks, so maybe I'm wrong. And so I did literally everything else until I realized after it didn't turn up anything that, oh, my tracker's just wrong and now I've done all this for nothing.
It's only logic in swordless seeds.
Exactly, and I had my tracker set up for that, but it still told me that Ega 1 wasn't accessible for whatever reason, even though I didn't mismark it. I checked, I'd make sure, like, Blue Cane was on there, Broad Bugnet was on there, Cape was there, and I was even just going through it in my head, I was like, I don't see why I can't do this, but, I mean, maybe this is some swordless logic, like, gotcha that I don't know about. And maybe there's something I do need to get. Like, maybe I'm supposed to find hammer before it's in logic or something, and I should just keep looking. So, not knowing really for sure and just sort of blindly trusting my tracker, I decided to do everything looking to see what it wanted me to find. And it didn't. It was just a mistake on the tracker's part, unfortunately. So that kind of hampered me a bit.
Well, so
that
to
is very
follow in with
unfortunate.
that a little bit, it's not. I want to say it was a huge time loss. You did have to double back. I think once or twice, but I believe both of you basically full cleared everything before going to Aga. So it's not that you lost a ton of time with that anyway.
Scarlet didn't do Waterfall, or didn't do Zora. I think that was the only thing that wasn't done on Scarlet's side before doing it.
Oh yeah, because I had the Aga access on Desert Area, if I'm not mistaken. So like, I kinda had to clear everything. Oh no, it was on Eastern. I went to Desert to kill Lemma since I knew I could do it, and it only rested Zora and Eastern area. So I went to Eastern. When I got all the items, I went instead to Aga. So.
Yeah. The other big divergence of routing after doing Aga, Scarlet went directly back to the mountain. Knowing that, it was one check in pod, I'm assuming, Scarlet, was your reasoning, is you only had one guaranteed check in pod and 5 up the mountain?
I had a hunch that it was on the mountain, Like I did mountain really early too. The first time I went really early too, since I thought it was on Old Man or what is the mountain? I forgot the name.
Spectacle Rock.
So I went there first, and then it had nothing. So I went back again, and when I had Mihur, I was like, yeah, we'll go to the mountain again. For sure, we'll go to the mountain again.
I mean, ended up being the right play. Finding those mitts gave you, West Dark World access, which was very good.
Yeah, and after that, since we were playing Map and Compass Shuffle, I did front and the Mummy's Room really early, since I knew that it could have something really important there. Like, School Woods open already, since the statistics say that you have more probability of finding an item there than in Thieves, for example. So I went there first, and I found Hammer and Hookshot. It was like gigantic.
Which leads me to a question for Leviticus. Were you just hoping to get Fire Rod before going back side? Because you skipped Button Chest or the vanilla big key chest. I don't remember what's in there.
I mean,
why would you do that? What was your thought process there?
well, essentially because I found hookshot and because I especially after what happened at the beginning of the seed, it kind of affected my decision making for the rest of the seed, where I was like, okay, I'm definitely behind now because unless somehow Scarlet is using the same tracker and had the same issue and didn't just know that you can do it and had made the same mistakes I did, I'm probably almost certainly behind, and I can't just go by my usual decision making or I'm going to lose for sure. So I started making certain gambles. One of which was to just leave statue room because it's a lot of I had to start cutting corners, saving time in places to try to make up for that. And unfortunately, that one was a critical one that I should not have cut. But I mean, there's no way to know that. It's a lot harder to do that room in swordless, obviously, but mostly I just wanted to save time there. But I mean, I found hookshot and I was like, the odds of something else being here are pretty low. Hookshot opens up a lot of checks, so we're just skipping that. We're just skipping that at this stage.
The other earlier divergence was Scarlet found her first bow on Graveyard Ledge, and I don't believe you ever went there.
Yeah, I considered doing it after Skull Woods, but unfortunately, like again, because I was trying to save time in places and just making gambles to save time, I decided specifically to skip the King's Tomb Graveyard Ledge checks as well.
The benefit of that was that you actually ended up getting Fire Rod and first, so you actually had a much easier time with the Ice Palace bosses.
Okay.
You took care of that a lot faster. Yeah, just because you're different routing at that point. You didn't have hammer or anything, so you went. You went up the mountain before Scarlet did. Scarlet did a lot of the other checks first, and that's kind of where you guys just widely diverged and just went different paths.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. It maybe not have been as bad as I thought then, but I think I still would have rather, especially in swordless, I would have rather had the hammer than not have it.
Yeah. If you had found that hammer, I feel like you wouldn't have been nearly as behind. You didn't lose that much time to Aga, having to climb Aga twice because you ran out of
magic and bombs. I made the mistake. I should. I mean, because again, I've not really played swordless, so I didn't really think of that. But it's like I should have just at least bought bombs before I tried it the first time, after using them all against Landmo. But yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
So, if I may, the question that I asked in all the interviews, Leviticus has already answered this. Basically, you can answer again if you want. But typically, in the seed, was there at any point where you felt like you got an item, or you just felt like you were ahead or behind, either or?
I mean, I pretty much already answered that. You're right. I never really felt ahead at any point. No, especially after what happened at the start.
Scarlet?
I was a bit.
Oh, that's fine. Was there any point in the seed where you felt comfortable, like you felt like you were ahead, you weren't too worried, or was there any point where you felt like you were behind and you felt like you needed to try to save time? Either or?
Like, I didn't felt good when I knew that it would be an early boot, you know. I really didn't felt really good. But when we did everything on the almost everything in my case, in the lights world, I knew that I would be a bit ahead, since that Aga Tower is really not okay of doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I was playing really safe, you know. I was like clearing everything that I could. I knew that I had time to spend. Didn't do anything too crazy.
All right.
So
That's
with that, you guys are now tied, 2-2 each. Have you guys talked about a game 5 yet? Your teams, do you know when that might possibly be happening? Who might be running that? Or is
I
it
don't
not?
think we've decided anything yet.
Yeah, we're not sure. It's just that it wasn't sword season in easy mode, so even if I was more used to it, it didn't mean that I would win. So I told them that wait till we finish our matches. If by any means I win, so you guys talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did a really good job. It was a good showing from both players. the routes you chose mostly was vastly different, and it just the way it worked out. That's how Rando works, though.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, for the rest of the week here, for the open match, looks like we have one more game scheduled Tuesday at 2:10 p.m. It's Oopstar War Och Nicht versus OK Game, Raymond versus Preble. I'm not sure which game that actually is.
I think that's game 4. To be honest, I thought there was a game on Sunday, but I could be wrong.
There is.
Tuesday.
That's in the open, or that's in the Invitational League. On the Invitational side, Sunday at 9:10. I hadn't pulled that schedule up yet. I was working on it. We have Shack Tools Digging Game versus Endra Drifters, Hikata versus at Megawatt. What? And then Tuesday at 4:10 p.m. we have the 2019's Titans Myth of 2019 versus Triple Dino Disaster, Sailor Nep versus Schulzer. Those should all be very good matches, and you guys should keep them up and check them out when those happen. But once again, make sure you guys follow these runners. They did an amazing job giving you the show when we had it. We had a little bit of tech problems keeping Leviticus's stream up. Not anything on your end, Leviticus, but just we did our best.
Yeah, I know there's been some issues with Twitch changes messing with your guys' stuff, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, it'll certainly be a fun one to go back and watch. Because you aren't there for about half of it, so good luck.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go.
You'll see when you check it out. It like you're saying, it happens. Twitch has been pretty weird, but I'm sure by the match on Tuesday or the match tomorrow that we'll have it all set up by then.
All right, cool. Looking forward
Any
to it.
last words from either of you two about the race, the seed, the Game 5 coming up?
Like I said, we haven't really discussed anything, but thank you for the race, Scarlet. Appreciate it. Merci beaucoup.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Scarlet saying something.
Oh yeah, for me it's just that I would like to thank you, Kono and Script Casual, that you guys were commentating the race. I would like to thank to the trackers. I don't know who were tracking, but thank you again.
Jinx Girl was our tracker, and she did an amazing job through having all the tech issues. So everyone give a good thanks to Jinx Girl for us.
And thank you everyone for watching too, since if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't probably be doing this. So really thank you for everyone.
With that, I have nothing more to say. Scrub, do you have anything? Any last words?
Nothing more. Nothing from me.
Okay. Thank you all for watching. We are out for now. You all have a good night.